Welcome to another exciting episode of Live It Up, where we bring you the creativity, innovation, and passion from various industries and showcase the extraordinary talent of entrepreneurs. Today, we shift our attention to virtual reality and the art of storytelling. Through the use of realistic images and videos of old Africans draped in stylish, colorful attires going down the runway and on the beach, a Nigerian artist is employing artificial intelligence to reimagine life even for the elderly. With a more deliberate and time-consuming method, Malik Afegbua, the face behind Slick City, inspires and challenges us to improve our world and create more stylish options for older individuals with the use of artificial intelligence, AI. At first glance, his images look like they were snapped on the edge of a fashion runway, but these models are not actually real people. Instead, the pictures are the result of Afegbua's imagination working in conjunction with AI software, showing older-looking models in beautiful clothes. In this episode, Afegbua shared his journey as a virtual reality developer and the opportunities in AI.
My name is Malik. I am Malik Afegbua. I'm a filmmaker, creative director, and CEO of Slick City Media, based in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a filmmaker, techie, virtual reality content creator, and welcome to my Live It Up session with HIPTV. 2023, they started calling me an AI artist, so yes, I guess you could call me that. I started playing around with virtual reality around 6 years ago when I stumbled upon some Google projects that was done back then as a test, and ever since I never really looked back. And back then it was all about you putting your phones in a cardboard box or put your phones in a plastic thing to get that immersive feel. So it wasn't what we have today with the Oculuses and all of that, but still I still was looking towards the future, and I was really excited about the kinds of things that would bring moving forward. So I was part of the people that used to go around preaching about virtual reality to banks, to schools, to say, oh, look at this tech, and they'll look at me like, what's this guy talking about? Please leave my site. We're still in a place in Nigeria where we're understanding that technology and looking for the best ways to actually use it, a solution-based tech in different spaces, but I know we're going to get there. Meta sponsored a project that we did in virtual reality called Moving Between, and Moving Between was about capturing the Kofa Mata dye pit in the virtual reality space. We wanted to capture the essence of that space in case it actually does die out, because it's a dying tourist attraction. It's been around for 500 years, and a lot of people don't really know about the space anymore. People don't really go there anymore, and it's not what it used to be. So what we wanted to do was capture that space, that if it does die out, we have that content, we have that data that you could always visit and know, okay, this happened and that. But we did that in a very artistic way that we just didn't want to do like a documentary. We did an artistic piece for that, and it's currently exhibiting in different parts of the world, and other things that I do apart from virtual reality, I kind of mess around with artificial intelligence, because everything I do in my company has to do with storytelling, and storytelling is the backbone for what I do. And regardless of what medium I use, be it the arts, film, documentaries, sound design or whatnot, it has to have intentional storytelling, and that has to do with my culture, my heritage, my background, being African, Nigerian, and I understand the fact that we have a lot of lost history, a lot of lost heritage, culture, either suppressed to colonialism or actually lost through time or natural disasters. And I really want to be in that space where we could revive it using tech, using AI, using VR, using AR, just many different ways to do that, and that's what I do. And that's why I started playing with artificial intelligence to kind of reimagine the worlds that I could normally not do in a normal space. And that's where the Elder series came from. And the Elder series is about showing the elderly people in a space where you normally not see them, because they are marginalized. People don't really talk about them. People don't really care in the essence of what's beyond the elderly care, and I was wondering why. And what led to that was my personal relationship with my mother, that I'm very close to my mom, up until a point where I couldn't speak to her for a while, because she had a heart attack, and I didn't know how to deal with that. So I was just trying to turn this towards something to deal with it and the stress, and that was the Elder series that came out of that. And that moved up of that to still add up to the intentional storytelling that I do as we're Africans, we are not born out of slavery or whatnot. We had a history beyond that. So everything, reflects on the work, from the elegance to the pose to the art direction behind it. So yeah, the junior. I know we're going to get to a space where it's all intertwined. We are finding many different ways to communicate, many different ways to pass messages or to, receive content. And we're going to be in a space where it's embedded in our everyday life. AI is already embedded in our everyday life, whether you like it or not. And it's going to even get worse or better, for a better lack of words. But I feel like eventually companies will start to adapt, this tech and this tools towards solutions in schools, in hospitals, and just finding many ways to bridge that gap that we always had. I studied business in school. I didn't do anything that's creative in school. Before I did business, I was in engineering. But I've always been creative personally. I've always been curious. I've always wanted to know how something works. I've been that person, but I never really harnessed it. But I found out that everything I did would gravitate towards that. So I said to myself, why not just do this? And everything happened by chance. I didn't plan it. But I kind of understood where the future was going. I understood the power of storytelling, the power of content, and how that shaped the world. So I wanted to be a part of that. And I didn't want to be a part of that from the background and I'm just cheering from the background. I wanted to be an active player. So I started to do some research about, why our industry was where it was and why Hollywood was where it was, if that makes any sense. And I started to get the answers to that. I started to, cross on my T's and dot on my I's to be in a space where I could speak to, foreign professionals and not feel inferior or have the same conversations about technicalities with a bunch of, international people and speak with confidence. And that's where I got to, and I realized that everything you do, if you just do it at your best, nothing can really stop you. Nobody can really stop you. So when I first started, I used to as an editor that I used to work with, I used to beg him, can you just show me how to do this, show me how to do that, and he would never show me. He would tell me, I'm hungry, if you get me some food, I'll show you something. Yeah, I won't call his name, but probably he'll know when he watches it. But that was my motivation to go back home, go on YouTube, watch it, and just get better at it. And because of that, I always train people. I always find ways to pass that knowledge, moving forward. And it just grew from there. And everything is connected. When it comes to film, tech, the art is all connected. If you can find ways to connect it, and you have a direction, there's nothing really stopping you. I schooled in London. It feels like I didn't even go to school because I didn't even use my certificate for anything. I've never used it for anything before. So I'm now asking, why did I please go to school? Don't listen to me. But yeah, still, what I'm trying to say is when you set your mind out to do something, you can. So the thing about challenges is that being in Nigeria is a challenge on its own. Living here is a challenge on its own. There are already these challenges that we face, yeah? But I don't look at those. I feel it's almost like it's a part of my everyday life. So I rise above that and I try to make decisions above all those challenges. What are the challenges? You don't have steady power. You don't have the right capital, the right, government support that you want to use for something. So you find your own personal ways to do it. You find your own ways to go around it. So I don't like to speak about challenges. I like to speak about how we can move forward. I had challenges, pullbacks. Many people that I have tried to preach virtual reality to, and they look at me like this, speaking jargons, or you're too expensive. Even if I charge 10% of what the foreign people charge, or you're Nigerian, why are you charging so much? But at the end of the day, what we do to curb all these challenges is to be in a space where when you see us, see our values and you see what we offer, you don't even worry about every other thing. And that's what we drive towards us, or strive towards, being that best. When you are are determined to be something or to tackle a certain problem to get to a space, those shouldn't be hurdles that should be problems for you, because the truth is the future is going towards Web3. It's going towards immersive technology. It's going towards artificial intelligence. Going towards all these things. If you look at industries now, they're adding all these things to their companies. That means that's where the future is going. So why not put yourself in a space where you're a professional in that space? Regardless of what your background is, you can start to learn new skills. And if you're the best at that skill, I will even employ you, because I need more people in this space, to help me do things that I'm doing. So yes, it is lucrative, but you have to also be dedicated enough to be the best at what you do. Okay. Sometimes when I create the baseline with AI, I do paint overs to exactly how I want it to look. I customize it to the exact way I want it to be. Just adding different layers, different points. Sometimes I have to alter it. There are many artifacts that I have to clean because most of the time it's not really perfect, and I just brush through how I want really. When you see that. And sometimes I use another program when I want to, add augmented reality layers to it. So for instance, I work a lot on my computer as well, but mostly on my iPad and my phone, because every software I have on my phone, I have on my iPad, I have on my laptop, is all connected together. So when I'm not even home, I find ways to do what I want to do. When I'm on traffic, when I'm always doing something, I'm never bored. Now, something I should say is I don't have a social life. So maybe that is why I have time to do all of these things. I don't actually have a social life. I don't actually go out. I spend a lot of time, creating, visualizing, and all of that. So that's the sacrifice that I kind of, I have or do. There's something about artistic expression. If you're doing it for fun, or you're doing it for an abstract reason, or you're doing it for intentional reasons. I'm doing mine for intentional reasons. So every single artwork, image I have, I could tell you a story about it. There's something behind it. So yes, it takes some time to brainstorm, to mix fact with fiction, just to keep you entertained. So this is one of my custom works. I created this for a very important client. It's an augmented reality. When you scan the barcode, it's meant to have two or three different layers. Yes, the future. So check it out. You'll be seeing more of this soon. A bunch of people have the Olamide has one, Ashake has one. It's called one of one because each t-shirt is unique to the individual that owns it. And it doesn't end there. It's called wearable art and wearable tech, because each artwork on it is also an NFT that you can mint on the blockchain. So the theme behind the first collection was African Kings and Queens. That's why it's all royalty and all regal at the back. The next ones will be all African themed, but mostly Afro-futuristic. Yes, you can't lose your creativity because you always need a human emotion behind anything. There's always needs to be a human that will make that decision of how it should be in the first place. And every content or scraping the AI had was from a human being. So yeah, we just have to adapt on how to make it or how to use it for our work to be better. Virtual reality is the future. I feel like virtual reality is the future of communication, entertainment. It bridges the gap through continents, whereby you could do things in seconds where you could not normally do. We're going to be in a future where we're working together, not in a future where it's a replacement, but a future that is an enhancement for us. So yeah, that is how I look at it. And if you want to follow me, you can find me on Instagram, Slick City CEO, Slick City TV, Slick City XR, anything Slick City is us. On all social medias. If you want to buy my prints, you can go to slickcityafrica.com. And if you want to know more about me, you can go to my personal website, which is malikafegbua.com. Thank you for watching my Live It Up session with HIPTV.